Mala grande.
John,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Yeah. $19.35. Woo! Check out that ad money, boys. Boys. Ow. Ow. Meow. Okay, I have to. Oh, I forgot my thing. All right, let's open up Xcode. Actually, where's my video? Where's my video? Um, Oh yeah, Discord, right? Watch later. Where's my playlist here? Swift Learning. Is it in here? Yeah, there we go. Going through error handling now.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. In this video, we are going to be getting started with how to handle our errors. So you guys will notice that in this completion handler, we get back a potential error, a potential response, and some potential data. We're going to be going over how to deal with these other two potential properties we're getting back. We've already gone over how to deal with the data, but now we're going to be taking a look at potential responses and potential errors. And the reason I say potential, guys, is because if you hold down Option and click on this data task guy, all of these properties are optional, right? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that error is optional, mainly because if we get a successful response back, there will be no error that comes back, right? And if we get an error, then we're probably not going to get any data back, right? We may not. So we can't guarantee that we're always going to have one of these things. So that's why by default, Swift makes it optional for each one of those properties. So before we get into handling our errors, guys, I do want to clean up a bunch of these print statements. This function has gotten really messy with all of them, and we don't really need them anymore. So let's start by deleting this guy right here. Let's delete that one. Let's delete print thread.current. Let's delete printing out this JSON objects, and let's delete this thread.current. We're going to
All right, let's
leave this one in here, and that should be good for now. Let's actually delete this one too. Okay, so, and this guy at the end. So our function looks way cleaner now. Now we can actually start to get into how to handle these errors. So we're already checking for the data, guys, and we are safely unwrapping it before we try to use it. Let's do the same thing with our error, okay? So we want
This is interesting because can you handle? I mean, this is super easy. Like, I know. I'm sorry. I'm talking about async. Async image is super easy to do, and then you can handle the error kind of through the placeholder, right? But I mean, you could probably do um the one that he's doing here, the URL session, right? With that data response error. Probably. Probably. I think he's just going back to like he's about to start doing something else. So that's why, because he was the print statements he was explaining before, and he did that to clean it up, the screen, the visual, because we don't need them for like the next part, I guess. Yeah, it was like an explanation for the first part. That's why.
to check for the error before we do anything else, because if there is an error, then
Because I'm just looking at my. If I show you my Xcode here. Wait, sorry, was it starting? Why is it starting soon on over here? If I show you my Xcode here, what's that? You can see like um this async image is pretty cool because you can like you don't have to do you just chuck the URL in there and you can add like you can use it to add a bunch of um new images here, or you can restart, delete, add, add a bunch, It's a scroll view. Add some more. Restart. That delete should be role dot destructive. Add. It should be red, right? There you go. Whoa. What the? Wait. Okay, hold on. Do we not need the... Wait, what? Maybe we don't need this? Oh, yeah, okay. Delete. Cool. Yeah, so this is cool. Because you can handle everything within this async image. So, but if it's not an image, you would have to do a URL setup. Thanks, man. Hey, Raiden. Apparently it's good, according to YouTube, right? Let's go back to the web here. Whew, my hair. So bad. So bad, I need a haircut, Jesus.
Continue with the rest of the execution of this code. We just want to say, hey, there's an error. I want to stop here. So what we can do is say if.
So just for curiosity, I'm just going to quickly open up the crypto tracker that I was making before. And if we go over to Xcode is so small in here, this box. I can't make it bigger. That's like the biggest it goes. Because I'm on my laptop, so. I could go to my screen, but then it's kind of blocked at the moment. Yeah. So if we look at this. Okay, so this is what, not this guy, but another guy set up on how to do it. I did this, but then guard let URL equals this, and then coin subscription, and then he set this up, basically, right? He set that up. Then I did one, my own, which is async await, which this one is similar to what he's doing now. Apparently, he's doing this one. So guard let data equal data. Guard let JSON object equals try JSON serialization. I don't know that part. I don't know that one. I don't know what's going on there. We have the HTTP response thing here. Guard let data response try await URL session shared data from URL. So that pulls it out. But he has a URL session, and the whole thing is encompassed basically in that, which we do not have. So maybe this is shorter. I don't know. Then I did that decoder thing. Then I returned try decode.
Let error equals error. Let's just go ahead and say print. Let's add this prefix call and say debug. And this is going to help us filter through a bunch of stuff in our console, guys. I like to add this to my print statements just so I can filter down and find what I need in there in case there's a lot of jumbo. So we can just say failed with error.
Wombo.
And let's pass in that error with some string interpolation and say error.localized description. And what you're going to want to do from there, guys, is say return. And that's how we can guarantee that we'll stop.
Pleasantly surprised by your consistency, discipline, and focus. Congratulations. I'm Josh. Oh, thank you, Rolando. Thank you. I appreciate your support. I'm trying, man. I'm trying, definitely trying. Speaking of discipline and focus, I'll be doing a 6-hour stream later today because I'm doing a 1,000 subscriber special. Thanks to everyone. Hello, Dynamic. We've made it on YouTube to monetization. We got past 1,000 subscribers. We're actually at 1,077, which is crazy to me. And we've already earned $18.35 through ads, as far as I'm aware. That's updated for today, I believe. So that's awesome. We're earning way more than I thought within, like, I don't know, was it a week and 2 weeks, something like that? 1 week? 2 weeks? A quick question for you, man. Could you give me some feedback on my portfolio website? Uh, I mean, I could, but do you really want it from me? I'm not, like, I'm not a pro, so I don't know what a portfolio website should look like. You know what I mean? I'm learning just like you. 7:56 p.m. on Sunday in Mexico. I don't think I'll watch your live stream. That's all right, man. Totally understandable. It's just the only time I had, excuse me, the only time I had to do a longer stream. I'll be doing it in, I don't know, like 6 hours or something like that. Sneezing always makes me sniffly. For some people, it doesn't, but for me, yes.
Execution of our function if we run into an error, right? And the reason we don't want to use a guard statement for that, guys, is because if you were to say guard let error equal error else return, this is going to stop the execution of your function right here if there is no error. So if the no error comes back, it's going to hit this guard statement and it's going to say, hey, we didn't get an error, so we're going to stop there. That's not what you want to do, right? You want to enter into this if block and say, hey, if there's an error, print it out and then stop. But if not, just keep going. So that's what that's going to do. Let's go ahead and run our code just to make sure everything is still working as expected.
Shall we try and write this up real quick?
Okay, so we still get back our pricing data, and that's looking really good, right?
What he's got? Because I have my API already, link or whatever. So here, hold on. Let's make a new project again. We are making a API work, API study, more API study, yeah. Endless API study. Let's close that. What do we have open? This demo app here. Oops. Oops. Close that. Oh, okay. Well, Dynamics, send it over. We can have a look at it. Dynamic didn't say anything after that, so. All right. Fetch view model? I don't know. import observation. We're gonna make a class. Page view model. Wait, do we put the func in there or? Func goes within, right? Yeah. Fetch async throws. That is what we want to do, right? But that's going to be different from what he has right now. Whoa. URL session, right? We want, whoa. Receive subscriber, any subscriber. No, we don't want that. We want that's kind of what we want actually. Apple Xcode is really smart. Really smart indeed. So make sure the URL equals the URL string, else print invalid URL, and then return. That's, yeah, that's pretty much what we have. And then this is interesting because it chose to put in nothing for response. If let error equal error, print so they were handling the error. And then again? Jeez. Sneezing. Snoozing. So guard let data equal data else return, right? But guard let JSON object equals try JSON serialization dot JSON object with data as string any else return. Guard let value equal JSON object coin as. So that part I don't understand. Let's go back a little bit.
API endpoint and actually retrieve some data back from our API. We also went over the concept of a completion handler.
Let me hold on. Where's Xcode here? Xcode, bro. Now this one, it's too big already. Whoa. There we go. Let's shrink this bad boy down a little bit more. These bad boys.
How they work, and we noticed some interesting stuff with like the order that these print statement came back in, right? And just to do a quick recap on that, this code is going to execute asynchronously, and asynchronously means non-sequential, right? So we notice that we get this print statement first, this one comes second. Let me add some comments so to just iterate this concept more clearly. And this one comes back third. And that's because reaching out to our API to fetch this data takes time, guys. And we don't know how long that's going to take. And we don't really care, right? We just care that we receive some sort of callback when it's done. And that's what's going to happen when we enter into this block here. So when we enter into this block, we know that we receive some data back. We could potentially receive an error back as well. And we're going to go over how to use all of these properties that we see here. But the main concept that we want to understand here, guys, is that our code continues on with its execution, and we only get this print statement back whenever that process completes of downloading our data from the API. So that's why it goes 1, 2, 3. So that's the concept of a completion handler and a callback. Now what we're going to do in this video is get into how we can actually start parsing this data or transforming it so that we can use the data that we get back to update these properties and ultimately update our view with data that comes back from the API. So guys, I'm going to pull back up our crypto documentation.
Okay, one sec. Let me go back into Xcode. We gotta go down to dot environment fetch via model. Make sure that's there, just in case for later.
For the API. And we noticed that this is what our response body looks like when we reach out to our API and get that data back. But it's not coming back to us in that form.
Sorry, I've got a package coming. I think it might be coming. I need to check real quick. Let's see. It's coming from AliExpress. It's a charger for my oh wait. Package arrived at regional carrier facility. Okay, I have to go to check quickly if it's coming. Charge adapter. Says it's on its way. Received by Australia Post Friday. Received. Bebe, is there any letters coming to my mom's place? Hmm. No? Hold on, guys, I need a tissue. God damn it. So annoying. Oh, my hard drive is here, baby. You gonna put this in the fridge or something? I don't think so. I'll do it then. It's literally ham. I mean, it's literally cheese. You're on my side, huh? You swapping sides like a silly. You're in the bed now. You have no pillow there. Oh, you're Stitch, I guess. There's no water in here. You need water. Is there anything else there? Glad it came early. Why was I coming over again? Right. Got me some water. Whiz. I'm here. I'm here. Sorry. I was getting some water and I had to blow my nose because I sneezed twice. Oh, I've been good. Been good. Yesterday I got to play Guild Wars, so that was nice. Um, got a had a meeting with my friend and the other guy who is his friend yesterday for the startup that we're working on. How are you? To play my notes though, it's very small right now. I'm procrastinating a lot. Get on it, man. Get on it. What are you doing? Sorry, my mom says she broke her toe or something. What the heck? Why, mom? Why?
Format right away. It comes back as raw data, and we have to do some sort of parsing or transformation to get the data to look like this so that we can ultimately use it somehow, right? The name of the coin and the price of the coin is what we're looking at in particular.
Thanks, man. I hope so too. I don't know what's going on with her. We'll share the link of it in Discord, but I still haven't made it with local storage, so using it requires to sign up. Okay. Well, just share it. We can have a look at it.
We could even use the currency if we want. So this is what's referred to as JavaScript object notation. So this is basically a simple and lightweight data format that's used for storing and exchanging
JSON, JavaScript object notation.
structured information between different programs or systems. So basically, guys, I can just get this JSON data back or JavaScript object notation and parse this information to get the data that I need out of it. So this is a really common format for how things come back in terms of fetching information from an API. So if I'm an iOS developer, I can get data back in this format. If I'm an Android developer or a web developer, I can also receive data in this format and parse it based on the needs of the particular system or client that I'm working with. So we're going to go over how we can start transforming that data into that JSON format that we want so that we can ultimately read or update these properties we have in our view model here. So Swift gives us something called a JSON serializer that's going to allow us to do this. So we're just going to go ahead and say guard let data equals data.
Oh, wait, I have an idea. Just gonna plug in my other monitor and put OBS on there because that way, oh shit. Hey, that's fine. That way I can see the chat up there instead of and then I can just keep typing here in front of me. Makes more sense. Why wasn't I doing that before? Take over. Imagine learning to program apps manually in 2025. You might be eating your words soon, man. Don't know if you heard about the new studies, even like including with Google, that AI actually decreases um, the speed, efficiency, and functionality of your apps. And also, it's funny. The thing is, no, it's just funny because like everyone thinks that. Everyone thinks AI is better, but it's actually not. I mean, you you can make an app. You can make an app. I'm not saying you can't. You definitely can. You definitely can. Might take you 3 months, but might take you 3 months to make an app in AI where it will take you 1 to 2 weeks in native development without AI, but you can still do it. You can still do it. I mean, do you have any apps that you've made with Vibe coding? And how long did it take you to make them? And how easy was it? How easy was it to deal with the errors and stuff? Thanks, Aniket. Whoa. Losing control of my screen here. There we go. Yeah, it's kind of shitty of you, new mount, to do that. Not gonna lie. He's probably already left, to be honest. He's like, I can't handle this. This guy's talking back to me. No, I can't handle this. Gotta leave.
Else return. So guys, this comes back as optional, right? Because let's say this API call fails, it's not going to give us any data back, right?
Ooh, nice. So he's gonna work for Amazon as like a software engineer.
It's going to give us back an error. And we're going to go over how to handle the error a little bit later on. Right now, we're just going to work with the data. So we're going to make sure that we have this data before we try to use it anywhere, right? And then,
Okay, that makes sense. So hold on, I'm gonna deal with this changing of screen size issue. All right, I'm gonna keep it like that. So you make sure the data is fine and the error, you can handle it there. Then do something with data here. Make sure data is received. Oh, sorry. Yeah, you can see that. Handle the error with a statement and leave function. Do something with data here.
guys, we are going to say guard let JSON object equal JSON serialization dot JSON object. And you guys are going to notice here that we just need to pass it some data and it will automatically convert that data into a JSON object for us, right? So here we're just going to pass in the data and we're going to say else return. And guys, we do need to add this try statement in front of it. And we'll go over tries and do's and catches a little bit later on. Right now, I just want us to focus on how to...
Huh? Yeah. Was it like boards or something? Yeah. Dropping?
parse this JSON data. Okay, so now let's see if we can print out that JSON object. So let's go ahead and say print JSON and print out the JSON. So guys, we do need to add autogon serialization dot JSON object. And you guys are going to notice here that we just need to pass it some data, and it will automatically convert that data into a JSON object for us, right? So here we're just going to pass in the data, and we're going to say else return. And
Wait,
guys,
so this is convert.
we do need to add this.
So this is convert. This is creating JSON data from the data. Is that what this does? Hold on, we gotta research this. JSON serialization Swift. Convert JSON to foundation objects and convert foundation objects to JSON. To convert foundation objects to JSON, the object must have the following properties. Data can come in any form. You have to parse it in JSON. So parsing means creating JSON, right? From the data, or making sure it's JSON. What does parse mean in programming? Analyzing a string of symbols. Serialization is the process of turning a data object into a series of bytes. The concept of JSON data is often called string and find JSON. Deserialization. Right, that makes sense. Okay, but why do we have to do that when it's already in JSON? That's what I'm confused about. Because if we look at our crypto tracker, fuck, that opened in the wrong page. We decode it from snake case, but it's technically JSON, right? Yeah, so that's why I'm confused. Because this is the same. Thanks for the hearts, whoever tapped that. Appreciate it. I saw that. Because this is literally, this works. This works here, right in front of you. What you can see. So I don't know why we have to convert it. Data. Creating JSON data. Creating JSON object. What is the difference? JSON object, that's what we're doing. Yeah, man. I'm in existential crisis too. Turns a foundational object given from given JSON data. So that's what we're doing, right? JSON object with options. How are you supposed to know to put JSON serialization dot JSON object here? Why am I yelling? Because I'm confused. Object is just between the braces? Okay. Is thread safe? Well, if we go back, This is parsing by hand rather than using codable, so it's different. So let's say here's the JSON data, right? Make sure it's JSON data. JSON is in the format we expect. So we let JSON equal, we try to make it equal the object from this data, and the options are nothing. Options are empty. Okay, string any. Try to read out a string array. If let names equal JSON names as string. Swifty JSON. How to format JSON using codable and pretty printing. How to convert JSON into Swift objects using codable. Never heard of OD JSON. Yeah, I know. So it must be an older way to do it. So maybe I don't need to learn that. But that's the parsing of it. That's a manual parsing, right? But you don't need to do that. So maybe we're watching. Okay, we have to watch this in full because I think he must change it later. He must.
Let's just go ahead and say print. Let's add this prefix.
But at least we know now what's kind of going on. Yeah, it's probably a Swift thing. Like JSON serialization is probably a Swift thing, but the point of it is to parse it manually.
Call and say
where there's another way to do it, which is the way here where uh uh wait, do we not have it here? I thought we had it in here somewhere. No? Wait, I could have sworn we had something in here. I don't know. Oh well. Let's keep going.
debug. And this is going to help us filter through a bunch of stuff in our console, guys. I like to add this to my print statements just so I can filter down and find what I need in there in case there's a lot of description. A server with a specified host. So if no error comes back, it's going to hit this guard statement and it's going to say, hey, we didn't get an error, so we're going to stop there. That's not what you want to do, right? You want to enter into this if block and say, hey, if there's an error, print it out and then stop. But if not, just keep going. So that's what that's going to do. Let's go ahead and run our code just to make sure everything is still working as expected. Okay, so we still get back our pricing data, and that's looking really good, right? So what I want us to do now, guys, is see if we can like force an error to happen. So inside of this URL string, let's maybe go ahead and just delete from the API, like delete the I or something, right? Make sure you delete something from the root URL. And this is going to give us an error because it's going to reach out to this or attempt to create a URL from this and reach out to it, and it's going to get a bad response because this URL doesn't exist. So let's run this again. And let's go ahead and filter our console. And you guys will notice that, hey, we got an error, right? And nothing is showing up on screen because we have that error message, or we got an error when we tried to fetch our data. So we get some detailed description. A server with a specified host name could not be found. So something we might want to do here is like have a publish property for an error message, var error message, and it's going to be an optional string. And we could say like self.errorMessage equals our error.localized description. And then we could go back to our view and we could say, yo, if there's an error, then show that. If not, then we're going to show the other stuff, right? So we're going to say if let error message equals viewModel.errorMessage and else. And then we could just say text error message, else paste our code back in there, right? So if an error happens, it's going to show that error. If not, it's going to show us the result of our API call. So let's go ahead and run this, guys. And
sometimes it confuses me where to actually put my optionals.
Notice that we actually get the error message back showing up on our screen, which is great, but we are getting this nasty purple error again. And it's for the same reason we were getting it before. It's because we are trying to update our UI from a background thread. So we need to be able to get back onto the main thread from here. So we could
Got it. It's same as JS JSON stringify, and it converts object like const user name. We get h1 2. Yeah. It converts it to JSON, right? It makes sure it's JSON. And this data can do passed around in your back and front end anywhere. Yeah. Yeah, I realized it was like, but there's another way to get it in Swift, which I don't need to do stringify. I'm just waiting for him to do it here.
Either
Kind of watching it in like 1.5 times speed, but I'm paying attention to.
go ahead and just copy and paste this dispatch
Actually, speaking of, I'll just chuck it on the big screen.
queue.main.async, or what we could do is just wrap this entire block in dispatch queue.main.async, and then just go ahead and paste all this stuff and put it in there. And then we could take this stuff out of this dispatch queue guy and put it in here. Oops, copy and pasted the wrong thing. And so guys, as soon as we get our response back, we're going to hop back on the main thread. It's okay to do this stuff on the main thread, right? These are really, really lightweight options. This is in practice or in theory not the best thing to do, but we wanted to avoid having to type this guy out twice to get back onto our main thread to display our error or to display this. And this is just something that we're doing for testing purposes. We're going to create a much better implementation than this here. I'm just doing this to, once again, showcase the importance of understanding threading here, guys, and what can go wrong if you don't do this correctly. So we notice that purple error goes away, and we notice that, hey, we're getting back this error message. So that's great, right? Now we have a way of handling our errors and displaying some sort of message to the user if an error happens. And if we go back to our API string or URL string and just add that letter back to make sure the URL is good, and we run that, you guys are going to notice that, hey, we get that data back correctly and nothing went wrong. So that's looking really, really good, right, guys? So next up, we want to talk about how we can handle this response. So the response is going to have a status code associated with it. It's treated as an HTTP URL response. And I'm sure you guys have seen that stuff before. Like if you go to a web page and that web page isn't available, it's going to say, hey, there's a 404 error or something like that, right? So let's see if we can make sure that our response is good as well, just to be extra safe with our handling here. So guys, let's go and introduce another guard statement. We're going to say guard let HTTP response.
Oh yeah, here we go. This is something that we usually have to do, right? This response thing here. This is a simple way to do it right here. Just to throw the error. Let's open up. Whoa. Oh, sorry. I realize you can't see that. I keep forgetting that I swapped the thing around. I got to change where my screen is. Because I realize, like, it's not vertical. Displays. Here you go. Arrange. Here. There we go. It should be good. Much better. Okay.
Equal response.
Where is the... Oh, there's fluff everywhere. Fluff and dust flying around all over the place. Guard. HTTP. Guard. Let HTTP response. I don't know what this means. So, what the freaking fluff everywhere? Seriously.
As HTTP response URL response. Oops, HTTP URL response. And we're going to say else. So if we don't get a response back, then we want to stop the function here. So we can use a guard check here to make sure that we have this response before we go any further. And we're just going to say print, or we could just say self.error message equals bad HTTP response or something like that.
Wait. We can't access it. What does it mean? Does this mean the assumption is that there's no need for a response thing? I spent 2 days trying to filter categories for my notes, and sorting and filtering is hard. You mean like with a view model kind of thing? Is that what you're talking about? Data alone is sufficient. I mean, like the user can select if the note card aligned by creating an updated and erasing. Right. So like in a view model on the in the back end where you like where it's like separate, right? Separate from the main view. And you're setting up the thing and then you have to link it to the front, right? That is hard. Took me a while to figure that out. Oh Jesus. Holy. Okay. Huh. I connected to database there, make service controller and route there and connected to the front end. Right. So maybe for you, service controller, for me is view controller. It's a different word, but same thing. Oh, me too. I was thinking that. When do you want to go? Right now? Okay. Mm, yeah, I'm going. API design or requirements. Right. Okay. So we would put response here. Isn't there something to do with that as well?
And then we're going to say return. And then, guys, we
Responses else self error message equals bad. Print not an HTTP response. Storing a database allows one to build admin panel like you can review people's requests, ban or moderate. Oh, okay. I haven't seen anything of what that looks like because that sounds foreign to me, that part. It must be specific to web development. Uh, let error message string. Can it be self dot error message? This must be var, right? You can't do that. Yeah. A database is a backend thing. Both app dev. Oh, well then in that case I have no idea what you're doing because like I have never used official backend stuff. I can incorporate the idea you're talking about in view controllers, but like those things is different to what I've done so far. I haven't made it to that point yet.
take this a step further and say guard HTTP response dot status code equal 200 else.
All right. I am actually gonna go for a walk because I need to get out of the house. So I'm probably just gonna come back and study myself for a bit, and then I'll be back again later for a longer stream. I don't know if you'll be here for that, but yeah, thanks for coming in, Annika. It was awesome to chat with you, and thanks everyone else who joined. All those 21 people, hello, welcome and goodbye. All right, guys, I'll be on later today. Take care. Thanks, man.